To preface this segment, I understand that some viewers may already have a firm grasp on IKBooster's interface, but I encourage you to still watch this segment because there may be things that I mention that can save many hours of frustration due to the various unknown things about the way IKBooster works. IKBooster is a complete animation system built right into Lightwave. You can not only use it to animate characters with mannequin-like click-drag operations, but it also has many tools designed to help make the task of animation a much simpler process. Understand that you do not need to use IKBooster exclusively, and that for the most part it may be combined with most of Lightwave's other various tools. For this segment, just sit back and observe, and I'll introduce the entire user interface while explaining its corresponding functions. Starting with a blank. Now that we know what most of IKBooster's functions do and what tools are available to work with, it's time to see how they can be orchestrated to make something usable. To begin, we'll focus on IKBooster rigging. We'll then go through the basic workflow of applying a rig that you're going to create onto other characters. Next, I'll demonstrate some situational rigging examples such as control schemes for lights or making characters interact with each other and other things. Finally, we're going to take the master template rig that we created and use it to make some animations. Before we get into creating stuff though, I'd like to preface this section with a short demonstration and overview of two IKBooster rigs that I use in production, detailing how I set up the controls and the reasons behind it. Okay, so here is Dejard, and he utilizes my master template rig that all bipedal characters in our animated series of Delura use. If you've opened up this file beforehand, you may have noticed that the entire control scheme is click-drag operated, and that most of the setup is literally just bones. I can adjust the center of gravity, move the arms and fingers, manipulate the legs, and it all works without all of the tedious selecting or complicated setups that we'd normally be faced with using Lightwave's standard tools. I don't need a fancy foot rig with all the extra bones and nulls to achieve high levels of control like this. I can also change and modify how the rig operates with zero consequences. For instance, say I want to have Dejard hold on to the handlebar of this hover bike. Well, with typical rigs, you'd have to create a control specifically designed for this situation. But with IKBooster, you can do this stuff on the fly without destroying your work or adding bulk to your rig. I have these end bones, which I call tip controllers, on my character's hands. Position and fix them, and bam, I have throttle control. Not to mention the rest of the character just works. There's no IK-FK switching to deal with, no sliders, and no sluggishness in layout. That's right, because I have fewer controls, motion modifiers, constraints,